on my last. So what I was asking the community is the priority of what the topics we can discuss or that y'all want me to discuss for the live. I'm totally here to be of service however I can be. I have, you could check out my profile. I have plenty of content, over 500 videos, posts, and shorts. And I am going to niche it down. But for right now, I have the digital files. So I have free resources on my process as an author, my process for editing, my process for doing ebooks, my process for doing the publishing, self publishing. I have resources on if things are going on in your community, like the mortgage doubled for me, for instance. So I have some of the resources that were available in the community. There is a little research that you have to put into what services are available in your particular area, but I do have the main resource and the main best practices are the main tips for federal workers or veterans or anyone that is pivoting and changing careers. It applies for everyone or everyone that is having issues in the community because your property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, your mortgage, your escrow exploded. What we can do, because I'm still working on that myself. I'm still struggling with it as well. But anything that I learn or anything that helps me to navigate through this, I'll be sharing here. I know that I initially was going to do nothing but the edits, the editing process for the avatar videos that are in my shorts. The majority are in the shorts, because I did have requests for that from TikTok, from followers on TikTok, and I just said it would be easier to do the live here because I was getting flagged so much by the AI on TikTok. So I knew I was gonna have a easier time with my lives here to do that information because they were trying to roll out their own avatar. So my avatar content was kind of kept in place. I'm okay. I'm okay. I was just trying to find out what the need is for the content that I'm going to be doing. Hello. How are y'all? I wanted to know the content that you're going to be interested in. If you want me to start with the editing process for my avatar videos, I can start with that. If you want me to start with I have checklists and best practices or just recommendations for anyone that was a federal is because I was terminated 3 weeks after my promotion during the pandemic, during the last, yeah, I was terminated through that time, but it wasn't a mass firing for thousands of workers. So it was just like it was a few of us, not a few, it was more than a few, but it happened during the pandemic and it wasn't as big as a number. So I know about the challenges of the job market and having the multi degrees with so much competition and having to redo the resumes and having to continue to redo the resumes every time you apply for a new job. And there were some fake jobs that were out there. I had to navigate through that. There are jobs, but to pay at the price point that you were able to pay mortgage, car note, just all of your responsibilities, the the minimum wage, jobs that are available as part-time, you'll have multiple of those until you actually get your full-time employment. Along with the so I have a checklist for that. I know the AI prompts. I have 50 is free. I have resources, the digital resources, and I have resources. I'm an author too, so I have resources on how to write, make good copy, how to copyright, with the Library of Congress without paying someone, because the Library of Congress, you can go directly to them and do your copyright. I know, so I know more than just writing, the editing, and the self-publishing. I know how to protect your IP with the copyright. I know how long the process is. So I have resources on that. I have resources if you are behind on everything, because there is a lot of people that lost their job. I haven't had a full-time job since January 2021. So I went from being a 25-year Army captain, XO of the unit, retired retired November of 2020, got a promotion on my DA civilian job in December of 2020, and I was terminated from my that federal job that I got the promotion on in January of 2021. Do what you want. Ultimately, yes. Okay. Thank you for that input. And yeah, I will follow, Linda. Thank you. So today, I'll go straight in. I have a checklist. It is for veterans, federal employees, or anyone pivoting from the current career that you had and you are in the job market looking for a job. I have been in the job market since January 2021. I was terminated from my federal job 3 weeks after a promotion. They needed someone to do the pay, and I was asking the person that was there to do the pay because it was a unsecure line that I was working on trying to do the pay when I was at the hospital with my mom. And they had an issue with that. And just said that they needed to advertise the position. They were willing to temporarily do that, but they didn't want to make it a habit of asking the person that was available to do it, because that was something that I was able to always do the whole 13 years. Is I was the pay guru, the pay expert for the unit, and pay issues, whatever it was, I was able to take care of that. You have your specialty. You may all be unit administrators, but every person has their specialty. We have a unit administrator that may be better at medical readiness, so they know all things medical readiness. You have one that may be really good at logistics, so they handle all things logistics. You may have one that is really good at operations, so they handle all of your training. One may be good at security clearances, so they can handle any fine tune things. We're all responsible for knowing it all, but if you do have one that knows this one thing more, they can help anybody in the group of unit administrators with, I've never experienced this. how can I do this? Or we have nobody that's doing traditional drills because it's the middle of the pandemic. How are you handling it where you're still able to get everyone paid on time, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic and we're not having those traditional drills? I was able to figure that piece out because I was the pay administrator. So they just needed someone, and to be able to do that and to advertise my position, they had to terminate me to advertise it. So that's what they did. There is wasp flying around, so I'll walk around because I apparently am in their space. But so yeah, I do have tools to use for that. It's free, or you can just pay what you want. It's available in the link in my profile. I also have where if you need assistance with your resume, I can help with the updates because I had to do that over. I have to revamp my resume every 3 months actually because I'm competing with everyone that has you have multi degrees, and there's a lot of availability for the minimum wage jobs or the jobs that pay $12 and less. There is plenty of those, and you can do ride share. I got on before there was a waiting list for everything, so I do have Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Shipped. Roadie. I have. If I wasn't immediately approved, I was on a shorter wait list. So after I was on the shorter wait list, I was able to get those ride share. The more, even if it is not as time consuming for you, it is a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle, tires, more oil changes. It's just a lot. And how the system is designed, if you have a few good rides where you do make more money, you will have the apps will balance it out, so you'll be sent after a few rides where you don't make as much, or you may have a good day where you got a lot of rides that the majority of the rides were the high paying rides, but the next day everything sent your way will, or the majority sent your way is going to be the lower tier rides. So I do know best times and best routes if you're doing ride share. Delivery was a cool thing, but you can't make it off of doing deliveries alone in DoorDash, or even just doing deliveries alone in Uber Eats. You still have to do a few rides to kind of balance out with the pay, to pay what you need. I've done events. That was fun. I did Chris Stapleton concert. I did an Autodesk conference. You meet so many people for all of these things. I've done background extra work, which is very, very fun. But you get paid for the day. So if you agreed up front that you were getting paid $125 or $150 for the day, they can keep you for 2 hours or they can keep you for 12, and you'll get paid that same you'll get paid that same 125, whatever you agreed to up front. That's what you get paid. So, but I've done that because it's fun. You meet different people. Yeah, so I've done that. And I've done that also. That was more stressful than anything because it was at a time where we were kind of just coming out of the pandemic. So people had gotten into their isolation. So sometimes it would be good because people hadn't they hadn't been around others. So they would have longer conversations, but that didn't mean you were going to sell more that day. That just means you ran into someone that was more willing to let you talk about whatever it was that you were selling. So again, I can do this, or I can do the edits for the videos, the avatar videos as well. I do have my laptop set up. I'm setting up OBS right now so that I can do multi-streaming on multi-platforms. So check out my shorts. It's my avatar alter ego, and it's just, there's so much going on, and I do have lots of resources in my profile for you to check out if there are dire things and you need those things. I do have those resources available immediately. There, it's virtual, it's the digital file, so it's virtual. But if you just need to a break and you need entertainment, that is available in my shorts. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.